had to find clients. I had an initial client base of people that I had been working with at the talent agency, but I had to grow it to small businesses. I had to grow it to financial statement opinions, to CFO work. I had to learn how to give value to people who weren't newscasters and creative, but people who operated pizza parlors and electrical contracting businesses and all of this other stuff. But at the heart of it, everybody had goals. And I developed a fairly, lengthy client list, and I was doing a lot of tax returns and starting to get a little bit to the point where, is this really what I want to be doing with my life, which is, October, November, and December, looking for some additional revenue, because much of my revenue was at the beginning of the year. Did I want to be working 21 hours a day for 3 weeks so I could squeeze out an extra few $1,000s of revenue? And I enjoyed what I was doing, but I suspected that it wasn't good for my health. It wasn't a year-round business the way that I had structured it. I focused on a lot of things, but I didn't focus specifically on how I was going to handle doing hundreds of tax returns and doing them efficiently and doing them so that I wasn't making mistakes and I was giving the client the service that they needed. And I would try new systems, and the new systems that I would try, they had some benefits, but there was a learning curve, and I ended up spinning my wheels to some extent and not being satisfied that I was doing something that gave me the satisfaction that I was looking for from a career. I had clients who were concerned about the fact that my prices were going up, didn't do a good job of explaining to people what it was that I was doing, why I was doing it. And I had a personality flaw that I've identified that's part of my success, but also part of my failure. And that is that I want people to like me. And I like people, I want people to be satisfied with me. And so I did a good job for people, but I ended up attracting people who saw that and wanted from me as much as they could get for as little as possible. And I attracted clients who manipulated me, and it was an emotionally destructive kind of thing to go through. And I didn't want that in my life. And so the best way I can explain it is I went from being a tax preparer to being the proprietor of a global family office. And I'm sitting here in my office. I don't have anybody who comes into the building, but I have a full-time administrative person. I have other relationships. I have people I can call on. By the way, that's a major part of the advantage of dream firms, is the contacts and the ability to run things through. But the biggest part was it forced me to say, what is it that I want to do? And where do I want to focus my efforts? But a lot of these improvements that I've done in my practice, I've seen suggested to me by people in dream firms. I've seen talked about by people in dream firms. What I would like to hear my clients say is, when someone asks them about me, I'd love to hear my clients say, he's expensive, but he's worth it. So, that's the key concept. I have a new client that I met with yesterday, and I ended up proposing a package to the client that was at least triple what I would ordinarily have done. And it's learning from the techniques in the group about what the scope was and what they would do, how you approach what you're doing with clients, and how you say and getting the advantage of other people's experience has been priceless from the Dreams Fund experience. I would say I've added in repeat business somewhere around 150,000. I think we're all wanting to be successful entrepreneurs. And I think this program gives you what you need to find success as an entrepreneur.